Hello, everyone. My name is Stephen Murray, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of The Gift of Giving. For those of you tuning in for the first time, this is a program that focuses on nonprofits, 501c3s, foundations here in the state of Nevada who are giving back to our community and making it a better and brighter place. If you are tuning in from out of state, please stay tuned. I think you could learn something from our guests and their organization. It's a very special, somewhat unique organization that we have today. So I'd like to welcome the founder of the Legends Kids First, Coach Carty Hicks, and her administrative assistant, Arnold Tapley Jr. Thank you both for being with us today.
Love it.
And
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
we're going to start with you, Coach Hicks. First, I'd like to congratulate you. You were inducted last year into the Los Angeles Sports Walk Hall of Fame. That's no small feat. So congratulations on that
Thank you.
accomplishment.
Thank
That's
you.
pretty significant. So why don't you give us a brief overview of Legends, the Legends Kids First?
Well, of course, we're a nonprofit 501c organization, and we've been very blessed to bring about this Legends Kids First and how it was started. It's unbelievable. The WNBA started in 1996, and I tried out for the team, and I didn't tell them how old I was. Really, I lied.
Oh,
I literally lied because I wanted to play ball. I didn't care. I just wanted to get back out there and represent the United States by playing basketball, especially in Sacramento, California. So, unfortunately, it just wasn't meant. I went up and I flipped over, fell, and that was it. That's all she wrote. And then I thought about, wow, I just wanted to put something closure on my basketball because there was nothing for us. When the league that we played in, WBL, it folded so quickly. We didn't have the funding, we didn't have the marketing. I mean, you have players like Nancy Lieberman and Ann Myers and a few others that were receiving a lot of hype, but you didn't hear about the San Francisco Pioneers, and now they're writing a book about the WBL as
Oh,
we
cool.
speak.
Oh,
But
cool.
the Legends was then started because I said, man, I'm a legend. I don't understand, why we can't be able to play in this league. It was for politics, I think, but kids were always something special to me, working with kids,
Mhm.
hanging out with them, doing things. I'm a big kid myself. Um, but yeah, I just the legend and kids first. I always put them first. So that's how it originally got
That's
started.
how it started.
And what really was great about it was that I was able to contact a lot of the girls that played when I played, and I put together a team. We were called the Legends, and
There
we
you
would
go.
travel and play against high school boys, varsity teams, local like police departments and stuff like that. And we were so honored to have professional athletes that would come
Come
out.
and help.
Yeah, they
Yes.
came out like Jerry Rice, the
Oh,
Hulk, the
yes,
Incredible Hulk,
baseball.
the Incredible Hulk, who actually was sent to California Lottery, and they asked me who would I want to give me my award for education award, and I said, "Oh man, I love the Incredible Hulk. I just love this guy." And sure enough, there he is coming out, walking on the stage, and
Oh,
it was
bless
just
that.
yeah, that was blessed.
Yes.
So he was another one that came out and spoke to my
Yeah.
kids. So yeah,
Nice.
that's how I got started.
Okay. And just for the viewers that don't know what WBL stands for, it's Women's Basketball League.
Women's Basketball League.
So that's what you're a part of,
Yes.
and that's what you're focusing on now in many areas, and that's one of your programs. So we're going to get into that into the next segment.
Okay.
I would like to ask you, Arnold. You're the administrative assistant of this
Yes.
organization. How long have you been involved, and what made you join?
I think it's going on 3, 4 years now.
Yes.
4 years,
Uh-huh.
And what made me join was I had a 6-year-old grandson
Yeah.
Mhm.
who wanted to start playing the game of basketball.
Uh-huh.
And he joined this organization.
Uh-huh.
So I wasn't doing anything. So I said to assist his effort in trying to play the game,
Yeah.
I would just volunteer my time.
There you
Aw.
go. That's cool. That's good because any organization relies on their volunteers. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
No non-profit can function without the volunteers.
That's so true.
Just the reality. What ages do you cover in your kids first? How young do they have to be and how old?
Well, we generally start with age 5 all the way up to 17. But
Okay.
now it's we have kids that are 4-year-olds that can play just as good as some of the 6-year-olds.
Okay.
But we try to focus on the older generation, like in high school and junior high kids, because they really need it. But the little kids, they seem to have so much fun, and whenever we have them at the clinics, I mean, the big kids say, "Coach, you gonna work with us today?" I said, "Nah, I'm working with my little kids. I want
There
to be
you
with
go.
the little kids." And we're over there cracking up, having a good time. It's so much fun. But yes, ages 5 through 17. But hopefully, we'll be able to start. My whole dream is to start a little league for the kids,
League for
4
the
and 5
kids.
and 6-year-olds.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Now, I'm assuming you have multiple teams then. I mean, you don't put the 4-year-olds with the 18-year-olds.
No.
Of course,
So
not.
you break them up 4 to 6 and then 7 to 10.
Yeah,
something
exactly,
like that.
exactly. But sometimes you'll get a kid that's young that can play with the big kids, you know.
Yes.
And I mean, today, I mean, just last week, we were shocked. We had a 13-year-old. What is he? 6'7"? 6. How tall is that boy?
About 6'5" and a half.
Yeah, he is tall.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought he was coming to help coach, you know, or something. You know, I said, you here in this class? And when he started speaking, you knew right then he was just a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah, and you know, and you know, he's learning. He just, you know, he doesn't have the coordination all there yet. But I believe we're going to get him
You'll
there.
get them there.
We'll get him there.
Okay. Now, your organization, we've talked about the playing aspect.
Mhm.
It really isn't just about playing.
No.
There's more depth to your organization here. And from what I could read from your website, you focus on valuable life skills
Yeah.
such as teamwork, sportsmanship,
Yeah.
and bullying intervention,
Yes.
which is a big thing right now. Would you like to elaborate a little bit on those aspects of your organization? Because it's a
Sure.
prominent part of it.
Yes,
it's not
it
just
is.
a
Well, outside of basketball, I don't think my cousin, just ask my cousin JR. A lot of folks don't know that I am speaking in schools. They'll
okay.
call on me because I'm contracted now with the Clark County School District. So what
nice.
happens is they'll call and I'll go and speak to a group of kids or whatever, and we'll talk about those subject of bullying. And it's so important because when I leave there, I've had kids come up to me and say, "I'm so glad that you were here. I had been bullied for so long and never thought anybody cared." We all care, but sometimes they hold it inside because they're afraid to be called like a snitch or something like that.
Yes.
But my being able to speak to the kids and really let them come in and ask me questions without feeling afraid, it's a blessing. I'm going to say it's a blessing because I never thought it would touch so many children. And even the teachers would ask me to come back and speak to another class. So that's what the bullying intervention is important right now because our kids are scared. And it's really worse now. Um, they're afraid to dress a certain way. They're afraid to be a certain way. They're afraid that they're too short or they're too fat or any of those things. And when I elaborate on those things, I explain to the kids that you are special. You're here for a reason. Nobody has a right to manipulate you, intimidate you, or make you feel like you don't belong because you do.
Yes.
So I have this. I don't know. Everyone tells me it's a gift. That I'm able to touch a child, and so I just want to be able to provide that what I do when I go and speak.
Well, clearly you do, because if you say that you've been hired by the Clark County School District,
Oh
and
yeah.
when you go and speak there, one of the teachers will say, "Can you come and speak at this class?"
Right.
So
Right.
obviously you're making an impact and a difference. So good for you. I think we need to take a little sponsorship break right now. Please stay with us, folks. We're going to be right back with Coach Hicks and Arnold Tapley Jr.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at pacificcoastcap.com.
Welcome back, everyone, and I'd like to welcome back our guest today, Coach Hicks and Arnold Tapley Jr., representing the Legends Kids First. In this segment, we're going to talk about some of your programs, and you do have some sports programs, but there are a couple of others on your website that I thought were particularly interesting. And the first one was your diabetes group intervention program. That's a free program that you provide.
Right.
So what prompted you to incorporate this into your basketball and your basketball league
Well,
program?
excuse me. Well, I have diabetes.
Oh,
And
okay.
diabetes
Sorry to hear
too.
that.
And I know and understand what it all entails, because I've had kids that they're feeling that they're not going to live long, or they're not sure what they should do, what they can eat, and so I incorporate in my program so that they can go to our clinics and play sports, to be able to have that conditioning part of being a diabetic. You need to exercise, you have to eat right. So I do one-on-one intervention. It's just not
Okay.
it's not a whole class comes in, because some kids, they get, I did that before, and a couple of kids were embarrassed. They didn't want to say things from another kid because they were too heavy.
Sure.
And I don't want to put them in that situation ever again. So I do like a one-on-one with a parent, and we talk about what it's going to take for this young kid to know that he's going to be okay. So we would also get sponsors to buy a pump. They have these pumps that the kids can wear, and it gives them, the
Sure.
insulin. They make sure they can play sports, or whatever they decide they want to do. But the results from it is just extremely unbelievable. The kids feel like, wow, I can go play football, or I can play basketball, I can run track and field, because they were told something different.
Yes.
And they have all this stuff out there that you really have to be careful.
Um, and I'm pleased you mentioned that you get the parents involved too,
Well,
because I would
yes.
imagine you have to. Have most of the parents been supportive of what you're trying to do when they come and listen to what you have to say? And
Yes. Well, they love it. They
yes.
do. And actually, they're being educated too.
Oh, of course.
They're just not just sitting back and just waiting for it to end. They are asking questions. They want to know, and and it starts sometimes. You ask I'll ask anybody in the family, does this run in the family? And sometimes it's just not even the parents. It could be another part of the generation. So,
Sure.
but yeah, these kids, and when they're overweight, and believe it or not, some kids that are overweight don't have diabetes.
Right.
They don't have it. And some kids that are really skinny have diabetes. So,
Yes.
so it's just one of those things, but you got to know, what is diabetes?
Yes.
Why is it that it's affecting a certain generation population? It's mostly found, to me, I think, in African Americans, most of us.
Yes.
But now I've just understand that the other nationality is getting more toward the Caucasians and Latinos. Mainly Latinos more because of what they eat sometimes. You
Yes.
notice you see a lot of kids who are overweight, and they're in school. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to play anything. So I'm able to read up. I give them resources. You need to do this, do that, and you can live normal, just like me.
Now you've also talked about the overweight
Mhm.
children, but you also have a youth obesity program.
Mhm,
So now
yes.
that's a totally separate program, because just because you're obese doesn't mean you're diabetic.
Exactly.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
So they're similar things where you bring the parent in.
I bring
you
the
bring
parents.
the child in.
Yeah, guardians. Sometimes
Yes.
these kids are foster kids.
Do most
And-
of the parents support or Do you ever
They
have
do.
some that say, "I don't want my child involved in this"?
Yeah,
Do-
I
do you
never
have
had
that?
that.
You've
I've
never had
never
that?
had that because it's the way I approach the parents.
Presented.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I say, I want to do something, I want to be able to try to see if we can get your son in these programs to get the weight down,
Yeah.
But then you got to be really careful because they too could be very much overweight and they'll take the blame. Well, I mean, they're all eating donuts and watching TV, playing video games, and I mean, they can do multitasking, eat video and not do anything. And today, look at today, kids are riding those little electric things through the park with motors on them. Those
Yes.
little, what do you call them, skateboards or
Yes.
scooters?
Yes.
They're giving kids things right now that's not helping them. I mean, I was just happened to be in a park just to walk in, and this kid just flew by me on this thing. They're fast. But now they're not allowing in the park, by the way. But they're not being presented with programs. So we have to do more now. We have
Yes.
to do double more.
Yes.
And so obesity 101 I do with the kids, and I tell them you're not alone. You're not alone. And I show them videos. They have everything right there on YouTube.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about some of your sports programs now. The basketball, which triggered this whole organization. So we went to your website and we found this wonderful little video. We're going to turn around and watch it now. Let's have a look at this video of these kids.
Stop. That's feet. Keep down. Keep down. That's feet. Let's go this way. Stop. That's feet. Come on. Somebody's standing already. Feel the bird. That's feet. This way. Keep down. That's feet. Come on. Is it burning? Yes. This way.
The brain, yeah.
Well, that was some video. What surprised me about that was I was expecting to see all these kids playing basketball, but there's a focus there on the exercise that you were alluding to in your obesity segment, when we were talking about the obesity and diabetes. It looked like there was a coach there giving all these movements to these kids. And
Exercise and stretching.
so it's not just the mechanics of basketball, getting it in the hoops. You teach them all the right exercises that will help strengthen the muscles, whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they can do it at home.
Yes.
I mean, and that the person that you probably saw in the video, she's a fitness. She's fitness. I mean, she exercises, and when the kids see her, they're like, "Oh man, we got."
Yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
get
be
all
like
fired
that.
up.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
they get all
Yeah.
fired up. So now your youth basketball program itself is 8 sessions, correct?
The personal training. Is that what you're talking about?
No, we're not not the individual basketball
Mhm.
training, the youth basketball program.
Okay.
The twice,
There's
the hour and a
Oh,
half.
yeah.
The hour and a half.
twice a week,
3
Yeah,
hours
and
a
it's
week.
8 sessions.
Yes.
And how long is each session?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
Mhm.
Okay,
It's 6 to 8 sessions. Sometimes on holidays, of course, but yeah.
approximately 6 to 8.
Mhm.
Now, because you have multiple teams, is the 4 to 6 age at like 10 o'clock in the morning and
Nope.
10?
Nope. It starts at 4:30, and we get all the kids together. And the first thing they do is they warm up, and the little kids can warm up with the big kids. They love that,
So do you have multiple courts then?
We have right now. We just have the one court, and it's a big gym. It's very nice. But starting in the fall, we're going to be at 2 different locations.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 locations because the park is wanting us to do more. They want us to because they're
Yeah.
loving what they're seeing.
Yeah, but if you've got the 4 to 7-year-olds
Mhm.
and then you've got the 14 to 18,
Mhm.
We have different stations.
Right, different
So
stations.
we'll break them up. Say we have 18 kids.
uh-huh,
So we'll have 3 different stations with 6 individuals there.
gotcha.
And
Okay.
there's 4 coaches.
Uh-huh.
So we all spend time
Okay, so you have multiple
instructing
coaches.
them,
Mhm.
doing certain things,
Yeah.
different drills.
Yes.
Like they might be doing a defensive drill at this station. Then they might be doing an offensive drill at this station. Then they might be doing something totally different at this one. So and then, each station's probably 7 minutes
Right.
in time.
Yes.
After they
Cool.
do
All right.
whatever they're doing at that particular station, then they have a water break.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Boy, you really got this down pat, haven't you?
I got
You
good
got it down
people.
to a fine art.
I got good people.
Now you also have individual basketball training, and what prompted this? Is it because some children are slower at learning, or they're
Yes.
weaker, or
Yeah, it's just wanting to
they're shy?
improve. Yeah, it's an enhancement kind of drill. Opportunity where I have a one-on-one with that child, or I'll have. I haven't had JR do it just yet, but I have usually a couple of volunteers in my neighborhood that will come that play basketball for the school, and he or she will come and we just work with that kid, and it's a lot of fun, and we do it at my home because I have a hoop thing backyard real big enough for to play and learn the game. And I wanted to try to do more indoors for the gym, but it would take up too much space. The space was too big, and they wanted to utilize it for other programs so they can make their money. So that's when I said, okay, I'm just going to do it at my
With
house.
home. Okay.
Or at a park and recreation. We'll find a park that I can do it at. Or somewhere.
Now, in individual basketball training, you're teaching one little child here, and earlier you said one of the valuable life skills is teaching about teamwork. So
Yes.
how do you then have problems that these kids that have had all this individual attention, now they've suddenly got to be part of a team?
Exactly. They have leagues. Some of
Uh-huh.
our kids, they start with us and they end up going into a league. And that's JR's role. He knows about the leagues that they have here in Vegas, and Henderson and Vegas. So they go into a league, and they what they've learned with us, they take it there, and they see they need something else to learn from. They come back to us and get more training.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they don't have problem working as a team once they get over to
Oh no.
your side?
No.
With all the individual attention, they've just been made to feel extra special just with all this individual training. And then, that individual training, wait a minute, you've got personal fitness, and then you've got the basketball training,
Right.
individual basketball and individual fitness. So the individual basket, how many sessions are those in the course? Or they go on for as long as the child needs it?
Well, no, we do have. If you're doing an individual, it's like they get about 8 to 10 sessions, depending upon what the parents want. Um, and it's all volunteer, and there is a park right adjacent from my home.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's not like nice weather and not like it is hot or whatever, we go over there and they play around, we shoot around, and we teach them the importance of how to do this and how to do that. And that will in turn lead them into being a person that could be coachable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kids, they're not coachable. They get mad. They don't understand. They can't do this. They don't understand why they can't just take the ball and shoot it all the time. They want to do this one-on-one. They don't want to pass. And a coach will see that. You say that person's not coachable.
Right.
You got to be coachable.
Yeah.
So you can make it. You got to be understanding. Here, the coach is dealing with 10 different personalities.
Yes.
And he needs those personalities to be coachable, to become a team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very important.
Yes. That's really nice. You're starting these kids out at a very young age. Some of them teaching them these values, and the personal fitness training. How does that differ from the
personal basketball?
Yes, personal basketball.
It's not doing any basketball. When you're doing the personal fitness training, it's basically, for me, when I had my gym at my home, we had my whole garage was just nothing but equipment. I had to take it out. It was just too much for me. So we go to a gym. But let me see. I'm losing train of thought here. Personal fitness. There we go. Plyometrics. People don't know what plyometrics is. Plyometric is where we're teaching the kids how to exercise and do weights and bands and stuff to get stronger with with bands.
Mhm.
That's plyometric medicine ball. That's
Gotcha.
plyometrics. Okay, having a little small weight, 3 pounds or so, with the bands, bring it up,
Mhm.
take it up to positive, back
Yeah.
down to negative. Those kind of things. The kids are learning how their body's working, understanding what muscles they're developing and what muscles they need to use when they're playing a certain sport. You got to use everything, but if you don't have that core, you won't
Mhm.
be able to last.
Yes.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, and before we wrap up this segment, notice that you have some sports speakers come and speak at your sports clinics. I think you mentioned a couple of them. Jerry Royce, you're talking
Jerry
about
Rice.
the basketball,
Yeah.
the baseball player, Jerry Royce?
No, he's a football
Football
player.
Or
player.
football?
Yeah,
Oh,
Jerry. He
because
used to
no,
play
there
the
was
49ers,
Jerry
and then he
Royce
went
that
to the
also
Raiders.
played for the Dodgers as a
Oh, I don't know him.
baseball player. He was a
Okay.
pitcher.
Okay.
But so I thought it was that Jerry
No.
Royce.
No.
And you've had the Incredible Hulk.
Oh yeah, man, that guy, boy.
Yeah.
Yes, and you know, and our family's been blessed. We had a nephew. We have a nephew. He was playing baseball. He started off with the Twins,
Mhm.
ended up getting traded, went to the Yankees for 8 to 9 years, left the Yankees and went to the Baltimore Orioles for just a year. He wanted to sign because he wanted to go back to California. So he went back to California to play for the Angels. But you know, he didn't do well. He didn't play well. He's such a private person.
Mhm.
Aaron Hicks, he really is. But when he found out that his dad was dealing with a bone marrow cancer, it freaked
Uh-huh.
him out. Man, that's his dad. He's the one who put him where he was. Okay, so but yeah, that's we've been blessed. But now he's a golfer and he's married to Tiger Woods' niece,
Oh,
Cheyenne.
there you
Cheyenne
go.
Woods. So we're really blessed, family.
Yes, yes. We're going to take another sponsorship break. Please stay with us, folks. We're going to be right back with Coach Carty Hicks. And I, I always want to say Arnold Palmer. Arnold Tapley Jr. You wish were Arnold Palmer, right?
Man, you kidding.
We'll be right back.
Budget deficits, national debt, presidential elections, government shutdowns, global conflicts in Europe, global conflicts in the Middle East, global pandemics, interest rates, rising inflation. Markets go up and markets go down for reasons nobody can control. Don't let the volatility of the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Your financial strategy can make all the difference. I'm Joshua Dowden. At Priority Wealth Partners, your goals are our goals. We believe people can live better lives with smart financial education and knowledge. We work closely with clients to match strategy with individual needs. Our personal financial strategies have helped investors accomplish their goals while reducing market volatility, and we can help you too. You've worked hard to get where you are now. Your financial plan should work hard for you in retirement. Conveniently located in downtown Summerlin, my name's Joshua Dowden. Call me today for a free consultation. 702-808-6513. That's 702-808-6513.
Country roads take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Here comes a triple yodel. Adi-yodelay, the-little-lee-oh, the-little-lee-oh, oh-oh-wee.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the program, and I'd like to welcome back our guest today, Coach Carty Hicks,
Thank you.
founder of the Legends Kids First and the administrative assistant, Arnold Tapley Jr. Okay, got it. So in the third, so now there's also something else that you're doing other than the sports that is behind the scenes, if you will.
Yeah.
You're empowering disadvantaged families
Yeah.
and communities. And would you like to elaborate a little bit on how you're empowering them and the impact that you've seen as a response to your efforts?
Well, there's a lot of kids, like I said, that are living in low income areas. inner city communities where they're not able to afford to participate in many of the activities in their own community. So we try to go into those communities. I'll have a group of people, and a lot of this stuff was mostly done when I lived in California.
Hmm.
And I'm bringing it into the Nevada, but it's just been really, for some reason, it's been really difficult trying to get foster kids. Because the foster parents, they don't have the time, or they can't bring their kid, or they don't have transportation. So I don't have a big enough car, but we were been blessed to get a RV donated to us.
Oh, nice.
So what we're trying to do is revamp that whole thing into education on wheels.
Hmm.
So we can go to the schools, and even if we don't use the RV, we can take my car. So it's a new program where I go into areas that are disadvantaged, but of course I meet with the principal or the superintendent of that district and let them know what I try to do, and then they would give me addresses where I can go since I'm part of the Clark County, and go in there and try to speak to kids or parents, or they'll give me a list, and the parents, and I call them and say, hey, this is Coach Hicks, I'm calling about your child and
Uh-huh.
wondering if I could do anything for your child, put them in our program. What program is that? Well, basketball. We have a lot
Yes.
of programs. I'm giving you our website. I want you to check it out. We want to see what we can do to help you and your family get those kids out of whatever they're doing and get them involved in something that's more positive.
And by the way, your website is very, very comprehensive for anybody
Thank
who's
you.
really interested. It's a very, very comprehensive website. We'll give out the information on that later in the program. Now, how do people hear about your programs? Is it through the schools when you go and talk at the schools, or are
Yes.
there other methods that people hear about it?
Well,
Referrals?
yeah, I've done a lot. They've done interviews. Channel 8 has done a lot of interviews. Also, Channel 5. They've had us on their show. We've got an interview with the Aces. They'll have us there. We do segments with them, and we just put it out there. So it's word of mouth. It
Mhm.
really is. But I've been sick quite a bit for the last 2 years or so. 2 years. So I haven't been able to really do as much as I wanted to
Oh,
do.
well,
But
sorry
it
to
doesn't
hear
stop
that.
me. It's okay.
No,
It doesn't stop me from doing what I'm doing, and he stays on me, and I stay on him. We both got our knee issues, but our bodies, like I was telling him on the way here, man, I look like a war zone. My body is just beat up, cut up, everything. But I'm here. I'm blessed to
well,
be here. So
yeah, well, you keep forging ahead, and that's
yeah,
the
the
main thing.
kids,
And
they keep me young.
you're not going to let it stop you.
No way.
Now, is there a paid staff in the organization, or is it totally manned by volunteers? Are your coaches paid, or your fitness person?
Well, my coaches now, once we get the extension on the schools, excuse me, the parks that will be coaching and stuff, we get a certain percentage, and I will personally make sure that my coaches are rewarded.
Mhm.
But they are considered volunteers.
Right.
This
Mhm.
is just coming from us as an organization to give them something, gas. I mean, something. Take your family out to dinner or something like that. We don't have enough money to really pay these volunteers because we have overheads. We
Mhm.
have the office. We have the equipment that we have to buy, and none of
Sure.
that stuff's cheap.
No,
And we're going to start giving out scholarships too to some of the kids.
nice.
Yes, we're going to be able to give
Nice.
some scholarships. So that's where our focus is. But
Okay.
we're going to start paying our coaches. Yes.
Okay. And what volunteer opportunities are there? Are you looking for volunteers, and
Oh yeah.
what qualifications or requirements do they need?
Well, you have to pass a background. You work
Oh,
with our
sure,
kids.
of
You
course,
must pass a
yes.
background. If you're going to do like tutorial, I would like to make sure that you have a basic, you have an education behind you to help with kids after school that really need the assistance on how to learn how to take notes, be prepared for an exam, and what's important about what you're reading and how you find out what you need to know before they give you that paper to say they start your exam. So yeah, we have that, and it hasn't been easy, but we're trying to with me, and it's just he and I right now. Taking over the administrative part of it. He's mostly taking that marketing and all that. I mean, and I'm blessed to have him
It's
So-
more than what you originally signed
Yeah.
up for, right?
Yeah.
You just went to up your
Exactly.
6-year-old grandson, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden,
Yeah.
well, that's what happens with volunteer organizations
Yeah.
too. You sort of step in, you're kind of sucked
He's
in like a
great.
vacuum.
He's great.
How does the organization actually get funded?
Well, it's word of mouth, but
Yeah.
we do. I mean, we're going to start. I usually do neighborhood. Some of the neighborhoods they bring over stuff for the garage sale or something like that. We don't go baking cake. We don't wash cars or any of that stuff, which is good. Don't stop. But what we do is we make phone calls and we tell people. We'll have a letter that explains this is who we are. We're 501c, and we want to be able to just get these kids sponsored because we have kids in our classes that are sponsored 4, 5, or 6 kids,
Wow.
and it's an expensive fee.
Yes,
So
it
it
is.
comes out of the legends,
Yeah.
So
No.
but what can you do? You can't turn them away.
Oh, well, have you applied for any government grants or
We
corporate
did.
grants?
Well, you know what? We did when we lived in California, when we
Uh-huh.
started this in California, but it hasn't been so easy. Hey, I like that.
Yeah, that was-
Yeah, good job. But yeah, so but what we look for is folks out there and those that are watching. We always, we're very happy to get sponsorships. It's a great tax write-off.
Mhm.
Just go to the website and there's a donate button, www.thelegends.org. There's a button there, and you can donate. You can send me a letter. You can be anonymous. One day somebody's gonna give us a lot of money. I'm telling you, and they're
maybe
gonna be anonymous. But
Maybe we
boy,
should reach out to the
Yeah,
the
we're-
basketball league.
yeah,
You
we're gonna
know,
do.
and,
Yeah,
that's-
they've given us balls and equipment stuff like that, but
Right.
it's where they haven't given us any. Well, I won't say that. They will give us some more stuff.
Yes.
But a lot of folks that were with the team here, they're gone. They let
Yes.
them go. They got a whole new. So I got to get in there and meet those folks.
Okay. If people need to learn more about your organization, would you like to share with our viewers where your website is and your
Yeah.
phone number,
Sure.
how they can reach out and get in touch with you?
Yeah, if you'd like to get in touch with the Legends Kids first, just go to www.thelegends.org. If you want to know more about me or my program, you can always Google Carte Hicks. You'd be surprised what you might find out. I had a 41-inch vertical jump. Check it out.
There you go. And
Oh, phone number?
yes, if you want to give your phone number, absolutely.
Yeah, 702. The office is 702-462-2680. And my cell number, call the office first.
I'd like to thank you both for coming on the program
Oh,
today.
Man, it's great.
It's been wonderful having you and appreciate what you're doing,
Oh,
especially for the kids too who have got diabetes and are obese,
yes.
that you're really paying special attention to their needs
Thank
as
you.
well. It's wonderful what you're doing. So
Thank you.
I'd like to thank you both for being with us and taking time out and sharing what you're doing.
You're awesome.
Oh,
You're
thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in this week. If you know of anybody who can benefit from the Legends Kids First, please share this interview with them. And if you'd like to donate or volunteer, as Kati said, you can certainly go to the website and find all the information there. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me. It's Stephen at thegiftofgiving.vegas. I'd certainly love to hear from you. I'd also like to thank our producer, station owner of WWDBTV, John Stiles, for allowing me to host this program. Really appreciate his continued support. And I'd especially like to thank our sponsors who have really been supportive of this program since the beginning of the inception of this program. Their Priority Wealth partners, Pacific Coast Capital, the Firelight Barn, and my business partner, RJ Champion. You'll hear his message right at the end of this program. I'd also like to thank the Friends of the Gift of Giving. These are anonymous donors without whose support I would not have a program. I appreciate them so much too. Thank you once again to the viewers for tuning in. Please stay safe. I hope you'll be back with us soon. Be kind to one another. Hopefully we'll see you next episode. Bye for now.
Mr. RJ Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB TV's series The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.